We are now ready to begin our showmanship competition with the 8-year-old and 9-year-old contestants. Please bring your animals into the ring. 8-year-olds and 9-year-olds. I'd like to introduce to you our judges for showmanship competition today. We are extremely pleased to have Ms. Kayla Umble and Mr. Max Wolf placing our classes today. Kayla resides in Clear Spring, Maryland with her fiance, Mikey Barton. She was a participant in the Maryland 4-H program growing up. Is a graduate of Virginia Tech in the year 2019. She has competed in this showmanship competition here at Maryland State Fair and was selected as champion showman in 2013. She has also competed at showmanship at World Dairy Expo, where she was also selected as champion showman in 2015. Welcome, Kayla. Max Wolf resides in Baltimore. He was raised on REW Farm in Lebanon, Connecticut, focused on embryo exports and Holstein show cattle. They had multiple junior and All-American nominations. He is a Penn State graduate, class of 2015, and is currently a territory manager for Emerson and owner of Wolf Auction Group. Please join me in welcoming our judges for today, Kayla Umble and Max Wolf. For our spectators at ringside who are new to our dairy competition, the competition today will be strictly based on the showmanship skills of the exhibitor, the way, whether their animal handles correctly, whether they pose the animal correctly, their knowledge about their calf or cow. The judge asks them questions and they will be evaluated solely based on that and the cleanliness of the animal. The physical conformation plays no part today in the way that the animals will be placed. The conformation classes will be tomorrow at 9 o'clock, where each animal will be compared to the ideal true type of each breed and placed accordingly. Closest to the perfect would be first, and so on down through the final animal in the class. We need our 10-year-olds, 10-year-old contestants to ringside, please. 10-year-old contestants. And that is a small class. So 12-year-olds, you should be putting the finishing touches on your animals. All 10-year-old showmanship contestants to ringside, please.
A really nice group of showmen out here today to start off the showmanship contest. And for me today, this young lady just really glides around the room a little bit, or around the ring a little bit nicer for me today. Keeps her eye on me and is always showing her heifer the best that she can. And it is that advantage of just gliding around the ring, paying a little bit more attention to me, coming over this young lady here in second. Second over third, it's that advantage in head carriage and making sure that her animal always looks good. And keeping her eye on me as she comes around the ring. Taking nothing away from this young man here on this brown Swiss. They glide so nicely around the ring together. He keeps his attention on me. But it was that advantage making his heifer set up in line just a little bit nicer for me today, keeping her legs up underneath of her compared to this young lady coming out here in fourth. Fourth over fifth, it is that advantage in keeping attention on me, gliding a little bit smoother around the ring. This jersey here likes to give this young lady a little bit of a hard time, but she really kept her cool and tried her best to get her around the ring as much as she could. And again, taking nothing away from this young man down here in sixth, I told him I'd really like to see him keep his attention on me a little bit more as he's around the ring, and really just knowing the answers to those questions as he goes, as I ask him to him. So congratulations, and a great group of 8-year-olds to start off the showmanship contest.
Congratulations to Emma Utterback, entry number 121. She is the winner of the 8-year-old showmanship competition, recipient of an award provided by Fry Livestock Supply. Second goes to entry 120, Haley Jarvis. Third to 122, Lincoln Mongold. Fourth to entry 119, Addison Fritz. Fifth to entry 118, Ella Barczewski. And sixth to entry 623, Gary Durr. From the top of the class, if you're marking your catalogs, 118 is fifth, 623 is sixth, 119 is fourth, 120 is second, 122 is third, and 121, Emma Utterback, is our winning entry. Now in the class are our 10-year-old showmanship contestants. 12-year-old contestants, please bring your animals to ringside. We only have 3 in this class. "11-year-old showmanship contestants, please bring your animals to ringside. 11-year-olds. A reminder, 11-year-olds will be in the center aisle, 12-year-olds at the loading dock end, west end. 12-year-old contestants, we need to have you moving towards the show ring. We are about completed with our 10-year-olds. 12-year-old showmanship to the ringside.
For me today, I think there's three very, very nice showmen out here for the 10-year-old class. It did get very hard here between these top two, but for me today, I did go with this young lady just as they glided around the ring a little bit smoother for me today. Had that head carriage nice and just really meshed well together. Those two just glide so nicely around the ring, and it is that advantage as that nice movement around the ring that gets her over this young man coming out here in second. Taking nothing away from this young man in second, he does a fabulous job pulling throat, keeping his eye on me. Would just like to see his heifer cooperate a little bit nicer with him today to get over this young lady coming out here in first. And then again, I spoke to this lady here in third with the Holstein heifer. I would just like to see her pull throat the entire time as she's going around the ring, and just didn't quite glide as nicely for me compared to these two showmen coming out here, but a tremendous group of showmen all the way down the line here for the 10-year-old class. Congratulations.
Results of the 10-year-old class. First goes to entry number 147, Emily Sanders, receives a gift from Fry Livestock Supply. Second to Andrew Kimball, entry 148. And third to Harper Rutledge, entry 140. Our other two contestants in that class will be competing in the novice class.
A really nice group of 9-year-olds to start our morning with here. The young lady in first to me had the most intensity and focus and just always made sure she kept her surroundings about her. She knew where the judge was at all times. She knew how her animal was being presented at all times. She was the fastest and most correct to have her animal set up when she stopped, taking nothing away from the young lady here in second today. It just came down to head carriage for me, a really well-presented calf on the move. Would just like to see that head held a little higher at times. The young lady coming out in third here today, very knowledgeable about her calf, very quick to answer her questions, and nice out on the move. The first time we stopped, would like to have seen her leg set up correctly, but after that followed through pretty nicely. Taking nothing away from the young man here in fourth today. It's a big heifer. The young man's done an admirable job keeping her under control here as he exits the ring, no doubt about it. Would just have liked to see him be a little faster and more knowledgeable about the heifer to move a little higher here in the placing today. And as we move down the line in fifth, sixth, and kind of down the line here, a really tremendous, talented group. We just really focused on head carriage, getting those legs set up correctly and making sure the heifer looked best at all times. A really nice class of 9-year-olds to start the morning. Give them a round.
Congratulations to Vivian Malott, entry number 139. She is our winning contestant in the 9-year-old showmanship competition. Second place goes to 628, Piper DeBall. Third goes to entry 135, Bristol Earhart. Fourth to entry 126, Colby Wetzel. Fifth to entry 125, Julie Brawning. Sixth to 136, Zoe Lasley. Seventh to 137, Braxton Lasley. Eighth to entry 131, Shelby Kuntz. Ninth to entry 130, Delaney Smith. 10th goes to entry 129, Abigail Stewart. 11th goes to entry 128, Patrick Waltemeyer. Entry number 133 will be competing in the novice class. Move her to the novice class. So at the top of your page, top of the class number 2, entry 125 is 5th, 628 is 2nd, 135 is 3rd, 131 is 8th, 137 is 7th, 136 is 6th, 139, Vivian Malott is our winning entry. 133 is moved to the novice class, 130 is 9th, 129 is 10th, 128 is 11th, and 126 is 4th. Now in the ring are our 11-year-olds, 11-year-olds in the east ring and 12-year-olds in the west ring. A reminder to our exhibitors, we will complete all of our individual classes, age group wise. At the conclusion of our last individual class, we will then show for junior, intermediate, and senior champions, followed by our overall and Dean's Champion Challenge. So if you are an 8-year-old winner, make sure that you watch your animal, that she doesn't get dirty. because you will be back in at the end of the classes to show for junior champion showman. First call for 14-year-olds. Please bring your animals to ringside. 14-year-old showmanship contestants to the ringside, please. First call for 13-year-olds. First call for 13-year-old contestants to the ringside, please. Fourteen-year-old contestants, you should be at ringside. Showmanship contestants in the 14-year-old age group should be at ringside.
really nice group of showmen here in the 12-year-old class, and really different things you could talk about with each of them the whole way down the line. But for me today, this young man with this Swiss heifer just kind of puts it all together. Leads his heifer around the ring so nicely, head carried nice, keeps his attention on me, pulls throat, and just glides so nicely around the ring. Kind of that full package as he comes around with this heifer, taking nothing away from the young lady coming out here in second. Same with her, glided nicely, always had her attention on me. She did answer those questions a little bit more quicker for me today to go over this young lady here with the Holstein. Third over fourth, it is that advantage. Just keeping her attention on me, switching those feet a little bit faster, and knowing the answers to those questions whenever they were asked. Fourth over fifth, it is that advantage of gliding around the ring a little bit nicer for me today, and always pulling throat and keeping that spacing as she's walking around the ring to go over this young lady coming out here with the Shire. They are Shire over this young man coming out with the red and white heifer. It is that advantage in switching those feet, making sure that she always is presented nicely, pinching her down, keeping that tail head down, but taking nothing away from the young man here with the red and white calf. Tremendous group of showmen out here today. Some things I did point out for as we move into some other classes, really making sure that we're switching those feet as we're on the outside of the ring, keeping the spacing between you and the heifer in front of you, and when we do that first pull, get in line. But those are some things from that class that kind of stood out to me, but congratulations to all those showmen in the 12-year-old class.
Results of our 12-year-old showmanship competition. First goes to entry 612, Matthew Leather. Second is entry 158, Courtney Bell. Matthew receives a gift courtesy of Fry Livestock Supply. Second to Courtney Bell. Third to entry 163, Jillian Malott. Fourth to 161. Fourth is 165, Lexi Zepp. Fifth goes to 166, Ella Campaneri. Sixth goes to 164, Jarrett Edwards. Seventh is an entry moved from class 11-year-olds. Leah Spurrier, entry 630, she is seventh. And entry number 160, Chloe Miller, is eighth. Madison Thomas is moved to the novice class. From the top of class 6, if you're marking your books, 158 is second, 166 is fifth, 164 is sixth, 612 Matthew Leather is our winning entry, 163 is third, 160 is eighth, 161 is moved to the novice class, 165 is fourth, and moved from the 11-year-old class, entry 630, Leah Spurrier is seventh. We are now showing our 14-year-old showmanship contestants in the West Ring and completing our 11-year-olds in the East Ring. 13-year-olds should be at ringside.
A really great class of showmen out here for me today. The young lady starting off in first place, I think they're just getting their ribbons now. She was very intense, very focused, had that heifer looking her best from the moment she stepped into the ring, through the lineups, very composed in line, always was aware of where the judge was and what her heifer was looking like. And she is an easy winner for me here today, taking nothing away from the young lady in second, who I think as the class went on got a little more intense, a little more focused, a little sharper in the presentation of her animal. Just when she first walked into the ring, not quite the presentation and keeping that top line in place the way the young lady in first did. Coming out in third, the young lady with the big red cow. I told the ring man here today, if If a young person's going to bring a big cow into the ring, they better be ready to show, and that's exactly what she did. I thought she had tremendous control of this animal today. She was set up correctly. Head carriage was terrific. There were some times young people with the heifers were able to give me slightly better looks just as she was, working to control that larger cow. The young lady coming out in here fourth today, I moved her up a place for her composure in line, the way she had those feet set and her head carriage when the judge was right behind her, taking nothing away from the young ladies here in fifth and sixth place. We focused on head carriage, we focused on composure in line, and a distance from the animal ahead of you when moving around the ring. All in all, a really terrific class. Give them a round of applause.
Congratulations to Lila Utterback, winner of the 11-year-old showmanship competition, entry number 156, recipient of a gift from Fry Livestock Supply. Second is 155, Emma Hutchinson. Third goes to 624, Michaela Durr. Fourth to 157, Anna Campaneri. Fifth is entry 151, Ella Fritz. 6 is 152, Megan Brawning. Entries 150 and 149 and 625 are scratches. And as previously mentioned, entry 630 was moved to class number 6, 12-year-olds. So from the top of your class, results. 150 scratch, 149 scratch, 152 sixth, 157 fourth, 624 third, 151 fifth, 155 second, 625 scratch, 630 moved to class 6, and entry 156 Lila Utterback was first. We're now showing our 14-year-olds in the East ring, in the West ring, and 13-year-olds in the East ring. She is a scratch. Yep. Hey, you make it down all right? Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know that because I did a drive-by and I'm like, shit, ain't nobody there. I better go to the lot A. And I'll be lucky to get out of lot A because there's about this much room between the two roads. And I got a pickup. So I parked about that far from the car next to me to give a little wiggle room. Oh, yeah. Yep. We need Evan Schnebley. Evan Schnebley, please, if you're competing in showmanship. like to have our 16-year-old contestants to ringside, please. 16-year-old showmanship contestants to ringside. 16-year-old contestants should be at ringside. 16-year-old showmanship contestants at ringside. Fifteen-year-old contestants, please bring your animals to ringside.
I want to start with giving this group of showmen here a round of applause real quick. Took me a little bit longer to sort through this class, I think for the right reasons. There was 3 showmen here that really sorted themselves to the top for me. But today this young man with the jersey just came in here very intense, very ready to win this show. Always had his animal looking presented nicely, pulling throat, and setting her up the way she looked best as we stopped him around the ring and got him into line. And it is that advantage in getting her set up a little bit nicer for me today. I did tell him it might have took him a little bit longer than the young lady coming out here in second. But it's just that advantage of making sure when she is in line, she's set up correctly and looks the best that she can. Second over third, just advantage in kind of holding that halter a little bit nicer, really showing the whole time she's in the ring, pulling throat the entire time she's in the ring, and getting those feet set up a little bit nicer for me today. Taking nothing away from this young man coming out here in third. He does a tremendous job as he's going around the ring, and I talked to him about a couple things that I'd like to see change, but really just making sure whenever we set an animal up that they're set up and they look good the way they're set up. Whether that foot is forward or backwards. And it is just a little bit of that cleanliness and gliding around the ring nicer for me today, and really the head carriage that takes this young man in third over this young lady here in fourth. Fourth over fifth, just really presented her animal nicely for me today and really knew the questions to those answers as I asked them and we went around the ring. Congratulations to a great group of showmen.
Winning entry in the 14-year-old showmanship competition is entry 187, Noah Utterback. Second is 183, Paige Miller. Third goes to 188, Blaine Edwards. Fourth is 178, Andy Welsh. Fifth is 181, Emily Fritz. In sixth place is entry 182, Cassidy Lewis. Seventh place is entry 176, Sage Grossnickel. Entries 177 and 186 are scratched. Reading from the top of Class 9, 177 scratch, 188 third, 181 fifth, 176 seventh, 182 sixth, 186 scratch, 183 second, 187 is our winning entry, Noah Utterback, and 178 is fourth. Noah receives an award, a gift provided by Fry Livestock Supply. Now entering the ring are our 16-year-old showmanship contestants. We'd like to have our 18-year-olds head towards the ring, please. We only have 3 entries in the 16-year-old class. 18-year-old showmanship contestants to the ring, please. Second call for 18-year-old Showmanship contestants, to the ringside, please.
Well, another really nice class here in our 13-year-olds. The young lady that came out in first for me was a really easy winner. Really from the moment she walked into the ring, the way she and her heifer glided around the ring together, just really incredible presentation, always quick and correct to set up, quick and knowledgeable to answer questions about her heifer, taking nothing away from the young man in second. Would have liked to have seen him answer those questions a little more quickly and be a little more knowledgeable about his heifer, but he did a tremendous job in the presentation of his calf. The young lady coming out in third with the red heifer here today, a heifer that had tremendous composure in line, set up so squarely with her legs underneath her, did a great job focusing on the judge with her head carriage, just a heifer that didn't want to move around the ring quite as freely as the top two here. As we move our way down the line, the lady with the brown Swiss moved very freely. We talked about some opportunities to work on taking throat, keeping that top tucked up. And the same goes as we move her down the line, just making sure that those legs are set up correctly at all times. Just making sure the tops are as pulled up as possible, keeping legs underneath them, and moving as freely as possible around the ring. A very nice class of 13-year-olds. Give them a round of applause.
Congratulations to Tristan Kaiser, entry number 626. She is the winner of the 13-year-old showmanship competition. Second goes to Lane Riggleman, entry 172. Third to 167, Caroline Kimball. Fourth to 174, Torrance Bassler. Fifth to 168, Kyle Reed. Sixth to 173, Carly Now. 7th to 175, Ethan Patterson. Entry 169 is moved to the novice class, Abby Bearden, and entry 171 is a scratch. So from the top of our class, 174 is 4th, 169 to the novice class, 167 3rd, 626, Tristan Kaiser 1st, recipient of a gift from Fry Livestock Supply. 173 is 6th, 175 is 7th, 168 is 5th, and 172 is 2nd, 171 is a scratch.
Three really nice showmen here in this class today, but for me today, this young lady kind of sorts herself to the top for me. Just glides so nicely around the ring, Always has her animal looking presented nicely. It is that advantage in kind of having a little bit more control over that head today to get her over this young lady here in second. I did talk to the young lady coming out here in first about some things I'd like to see as she comes back in the ring, but does a tremendous job coming around the ring with this cow. They glide so nicely and perfectly together with each other. Second over third, it's that advantage in pulling throat as they come around the ring, and just gliding so nice and smoothly that takes her over this young lady here with the jersey. Not taking nothing away from the young lady coming out here in third, did a tremendous job. Didn't stop showing the entire time she was in the ring and knew the answers to the questions, but really just want to see her slow down as she comes around the ring and make sure she's pulling throat. Congratulations.
Winning entry in the 16-year-old showmanship competition is entry number 197, Kelsey Zepp. Second goes to entry 202, Dana Frank. And third to entry 200, Elizabeth Caritas. Entry 611 and 201 were scratches. We're now looking for our 18-year-old contestants, 18-year-old showmanship contestants. Please enter the ring. Also looking for our 17-year-olds. If we could get our 17-year-olds headed towards ringside. We also would like to recognize our state breed organizations. They also are providing some awards to the specific breed, the highest placing animal in those breeds. In the interest of time, we will planning on making a change to our novice class. You will still come to the center aisle. However, depending on the progress of our two classes, you may be in the west end ring. So we'll let you know when you get here. Come to the center aisle, just as previously announced. We may end up putting you in the west ring depending on progress of our classes. Novice showmanship contestants, you may be wanting to put the finishing touches on your animals and be ready to head towards the ringside. If the 18-year-olds are concluded here in a short time, we will move you into that ring.
A really nice class of 15-year-old showmen out here today. The top two for me were a tight placing and easily sorted themselves to the top. The young man in first just set up his legs a little more squarely beneath that heifer. The way 1 and 2 both moved around the ring very freely and just were focused, always aware of their surroundings, where the other animals were in the class. They were quick and correct to set up and super knowledgeable about their heifer. The young man in third here today, a young calf who does like to throw her legs around a little bit. Asked him to be just a little more prepared in terms of answering questions about what he does and doesn't like about his calf, but a really well-presented couple as they move around the ring. The young lady in fourth, I think, has all the skills and abilities to merit a higher placing. Just a cow that didn't quite allow her to show off the proper head carriage and feet placement you like to see higher up the line. And taking nothing away from the young man here in fifth, a really well-presented group of young showmen. We talked about the opportunities to keep those top lines straight and hard. Head carriage was a big emphasis, and making sure those legs were set up squarely and correctly beneath the animal. Thank you.
Congratulations to Gavin Valentine. He is the winner of the 15-year-old showmanship competition, recipient of an award from Fry's Livestock Supply, entry number 190. Second is entry 192, Brianna Schnebley. Third goes to 194, Wyatt Snyder. Fourth to 244, Caitlin Kuntz. Fifth is 195, Mason Patterson. From the top of class number 10, marking your books, 244 is fourth, 195 is fifth, 192 is second, 194 is third, 190, Gavin Valentine is first. Now entering the ring are our 17-year-old showmanship contestants. Novice showmanship contestants, please bring your animals to the center aisle. At the conclusion of the novice class, we will show our junior class winners for junior champion, followed by all the intermediate class winners for intermediate champion, the senior class winners for senior champion. Those three champions will compete along with the novice champion for our overall master showman. Following that, we have 2 entries of previous master showmen who are still age eligible. They will compete with this year's master showman for the Dean's Champion Challenge, sponsored by the College of Agriculture at the University of Maryland. novice contestants, please bring your animals to ringside. Should be at the center aisle.
Really nice class of 18-year-olds here to finish out the classes for the showmanship contest. But for me today, I had two showmen that kind of sorted themselves to the top for me. But today I went with this young lady, just had her animal set up a little bit nicer for me today as she got in line or was around the ring, kind of keeping those legs up underneath of her, not getting her a little too stretched out. Minor detail there. As well as just keeping her attention on me the entire time they went around the ring. Nothing one person did wrong over the other. I think two showmen that really did a fabulous job coming around the ring and taking nothing away from either of them. But second over third is that advantage, just the way he walks around with his animal, the head carriage, holding that halter correctly as he's going around the ring. Just places him over this young lady here in third. Third over fourth, it is just that advantage of walking around the ring a little bit smoother, the halter fitting the head a little bit nicer for me today, but taking nothing away from this young man coming out here in fourth. Did a tremendous job, continued showing the entire time that he was in the ring and really knew all the answers to the questions when they were asked. And I talked to the rest of the ladies respectively down the line here, but a tremendous class of 18-year-olds here to finish out the showmanship show here today. Congratulations.
Thank you. Results of our 18-year-old showmanship competition. First goes to entry 219, Jillian Sutton. She'll receive a gift from Fry Livestock Supply. Second is entry 217, Caden Valentine. Third goes to entry 213, Amelia Miller. Fourth is entry 218, Justin DeWeese. Fifth is 214, Kayla Simpson. Sixth goes to entry 211, Hannah Wilson. And seventh to entry 220, Rachel Frank. Entries 215, Travis Heath, and 216, Emma Schnebley are scratches. So from the top of the class, 218 is fourth, 220 is seventh, 215 scratch, 213 3, 216 scratch, 214 5, 219 Jillian Sutton is first, 217 is second, and 211 is sixth. We will now show our novice showmanship class. These are folks that is their first experience in showing dairy cattle, regardless of age, 9-year-olds through 18-year-olds. The winning entry in our novice class will then compete with our other champions for an opportunity to be named overall showman.
a little smaller class here in our 17-year-old group today, but a very, very tight one as we move our way down the line. The young lady in first kind of sorted her way to the top of the line, in my mind, easily, though. There's a lot of things she could be doing to work with that heifer, and she nailed all of them, whether it was keeping the tail head down, keeping her belly pulled up, keeping those legs set up squarely beneath her at all times. They move so freely and so smoothly around the ring together. I just love to watch that heifer and young lady as a couple come around the ring. It's second and third that were very, very tight placing in my mind. For me, it was the young lady with the Holstein who sometimes just had the advantage in head carriage and taking throat. Really, it came down to that first lineup. I got in front of the two of them. The young lady with the Holstein just showed off the front end of that heifer a little more squarely, a little more openly, taking nothing away from the young lady with the jersey here in fourth. In third. The young lady with the jersey in third. Just a tremendous pair to watch move around the ring. They were so smooth out on the move together. And we talked about coming down the line of fourth. Just some opportunity to keep the legs set a little more squarely beneath her. A very knowledgeable individual. The young lady with the Holstein here in fourth, though, about her heifer and some things you'd want to change about her, and all the skills and abilities to merit a higher placing on another day. Congratulations.
Congratulations to Grace Strite, entry number 206. She's the winning entry in the 17-year-old showmanship competition. Receives a gift from Fry Livestock Supply. Second is entry 208, J.C. Miller. Third is 209, Morgan Osborne Watley. And fourth is entry 207, Shay Sensula. Entry 204 is a scratch. So from the top of class 12, marking your books, 207 is fourth, 208 second, 209 third, 206 Grace Straight is your winning entry. We'd have our junior class winners to ringside, please. Junior class winners to ringside. Are you bringing them into center, Beth? Center. For our champion classes, we will use the center aisle. Championship classes will use our center aisle and the center portion of the ring.
really nice group of first-year showmen all the way down the line that I think as time goes on are going to have a great future and a lot of potential. I did talk to all of them about some things across the board that I think every showman could work on out here today. But for me today, this young lady here with the jersey just kind of sorted herself to the top for me. Knew the answers to the questions, walked around the ring so nicely, and made sure that head carriage was nice to present that animal the best that she could as she went around the ring. And it is that head carriage that takes her over, this young lady coming out here in second. Second over third, it's that pulling of the throat, knowing the answers to those questions, and really just keeping her eye on me the entire time as she walked around the ring. As I continue down the line, I talked to these showmen about a couple things that I'd like to see all of them change, and that's keeping their attention on me as they walk around the ring, walking nice and slow as they go around the ring, keeping the spacing between them and the heifer in front of them, and then also how to hold that halter properly to get a little more control over the head and make sure that they are gliding smoothly around the rings. But again, a tremendous group of novice showmen out here today, all the way down the line. Let's give them all a big round of applause.
A reminder, please do not take cattle behind the bleachers. Take them around the first aisle. No cattle behind the bleachers, please. Rule number 1. Thank you. Congratulations to Brenna Shamlin, entry number 143. She is the first place winner in her novice showmanship and will compete in the overall championship. So Brenna, don't go too far. She was moved from another class. Madison Thomas was also moved from another class, entry 161. She is second. Third goes to 199, Sean Merriam. Fourth to 170, Michael Merriam. Fifth to Abby Bearden, entry 169, moved from a previous class. Sixth also is moved from another class, entry 133, Samantha Patterson. Seventh from another class, entry 145, Olivia Thomas. Eighth goes to entry 227, Vivian Nevitt or Nevit. I'm sorry, Vivian, you'll have to straighten me out on that. Ninth goes to entry 154, Emily Crawford. Entry 153 is a scratch. We will now select our champion junior showman from our class winners. From the 8-year-old class, 121, Emma Utterback. From class number 2, 9-year-olds, Vivian Malott, entry 139. And from our 10-year-old class, entry number 147, Emily Sanders. Who? They get an award for this one? Sure they get something. I would hope so. Ask April, she knows. Only need one now, let's not place them. As we're selecting our champions, I'd like to again introduce our judges for today. In the center of the ring now, acting as the official judge that the exhibitors will be watching, is Max Wolf from Baltimore, Maryland. Max was raised on REW Farm in Lebanon, Connecticut, where they focused on embryo exports and Holstein show cattle. He had multiple junior, All-American, and All-American nominations. He's a Penn State graduate, class of 2015, and currently a territory manager for Emerson. He also owns Wolf Auction Group. Kayla Umble is our associate judge for this class and will probably take the reins for our next class. Kayla grew up in our 4-H program, dairy program here in Maryland, competing in many of the dairy activities, including judging and showmanship. She is a graduate of Virginia Tech in class of 2019. She was selected as the Maryland State Fair Showmanship Champion in 2013 and also won the World Dairy Expo Showmanship Contest in 2015. I guess you could say that's the national championship. So let's welcome our two judges again, Kayla Umble and Max Wolf. We should have our intermediate class winners at ringside. Intermediate class winners at ringside. Each age group champion will receive an award provided by the Maryland State Fair. And our overall champion will receive awards sponsored by Maryland State Fair and our state breed associations.
Let's give these junior exhibitors out here a big round of applause. I'm going to let Max go out here and select your junior champion. If you want to, you can do your reserve as well, and then I'll give reasons to follow. nice group of young showmen out here today, and I think taking nothing away from any of these three ladies out here, I think they have a bright future and will compete as they get older. But for me and Max today, this young lady just kind of glides so nicely around the ring with her animal. They kind of work as a pair. When she gets her set up, she leaves her set up and gets her where she needs to be, and just has that head carriage so nicely and really just glides around the ring so nicely. Taking nothing away from this young lady here that's circling out at the beginning, she would probably be our reserve today. Would just like to see her kind of get her heifer in line, and once you get her set, pinch her down and everything, let the heifer stand there rather than picking at her constantly as she's standing there in line. But again, another three really nice showmen on here that I think have a very bright future. So congratulations again to the junior division.
Congratulations to all of our class winners. Our junior champion has been selected. It is entry number 147, our 10-year-old winner, Emily Sanders. Emily receives an award sponsored by or provided by Maryland State Fair and will now compete for our overall Master Showman Award. So don't go too far, Emily. Next is our intermediate age group championship. 11-year-old is Lila Utterback. 12-year-old Matthew Leather. And our 13-year-old winner is Tristan Kaiser. Winning intermediate champion will also receive an award provided by the Maryland State Fair. For our ringside who were not with us earlier, not familiar with what we're doing here, this is a showmanship competition. Has nothing to do with the physical conformation of the animals. All has to do with the person on the halter, how well their animal responds, how well they work together, the placement of the feet, the presentation of the animal during the show, the knowledge and information to answer questions, birth dates, how much feed they're getting, any breeding dates if the animals are bred, so that they have a complete knowledge of the animal that they're showing. Tomorrow will be our confirmation classes. This is strictly the exhibitor and their showmanship skills. Our senior age class winners. Showmanship should be at ringside. Your class will be next.
If you could give your intermediate showman a round of applause here, these three individuals pulled out. We're going to have Kayla go out, congratulate our winning intermediate showman, and then I'll follow up with some reasons. I want you to greet her with a big round of applause. A pretty easy winner in our minds today. She's a young lady that I got to see come through the class, and just she and her animal make a terrific pair. They never missed a beat. They had the composure, they had the wherewithal, and the animal was always set up 100% correct, taking nothing away from the two great individuals out here. Might just like to see the legs set up a little quicker on the young man with the Swiss, and the young lady with the jersey not flowing quite as smoothly as the young lady that we named intermediate champion here today. But a big congratulations to our intermediate champion, the other two individuals standing out here in the ring, and everyone who participated in this age group back in the barns. Very nicely done.
Congratulations to our three intermediate class winners, and a special congratulations to Tristan Kaiser, who is selected as the champion of the intermediate division in the showmanship competition. She's entry 626, will receive an award provided by the Maryland State Fair. On to our next competition. This will be the winners of our senior age groups competition. 14-year-old winner is Noah Utterback. 15-year-old winner, Gavin Valentine. Winner of our 16-year-old competition is Kelsey Zepp. Emerging as the winner of the 17-year-old class was Grace Straight. And our final class winner and contestant vying for senior champion showmanship honors is our 18-year-old winner, Jillian Sutton. We should have our junior and intermediate and novice champions at ringside. The conclusion of this class, we will select our overall showmanship champion, master showman of our 4-H show.
a little bigger class here as we move into our senior champion show, and give them a round of applause. I'm sure the same goes for Kayla. It certainly went for me as we were working our way through the individual age groups. I think the competition gets a lot closer, a lot tighter. The individuals are getting more mature. They certainly know what they're doing with their animals. They know how to evaluate their own animals and other animals as well. That's something that we wanted to emphasize here kind of in the final round. With that said, Kayla, if you could go out and select our winner, please greet them with a big round of applause. This young lady with the red cow really did it for us here today. 5 absolutely terrific showmen out here, both in class and then here in the finals for us. The young lady with the red cow. It's not always the easiest thing to bring a milking cow into a showmanship competition and present her just masterfully, and she did that. Kayla had given her a little advice in class just to watch the feet as the judge moved around. She took that advice to heart, and I think out here in the final round, just a really flawless performance. Congratulations, and again, a big round to everyone out here in the top 5 and everyone back in the barn who helped make this competition as competitive as it was today. Congratulations.
What a tremendous class. Congratulations to Kelsey Zepp, our 16-year-old showmanship winner, and they're selected as our senior champion showmanship winner. Recipient of an award provided by Maryland State Fair will be one of our contestants to compete for our overall champion award from our junior, intermediate, and senior and novice champions. We will select an overall champion to receive an award provided by Maryland State Fair and our breed associations. Our 2 Dean's Champion Challenge contestants should be getting your animal, putting the finishing touches on your animals, bringing them to ringside. If you plan on competing for the Dean's Champion Challenge, we have 2 entries that will compete with this year's overall showmanship winner.
H swings into the 38th annual golf tournament in memory of Marlon K. Hoff on Monday, October 3rd, 2022 at the beautiful Musket Ridge Golf Course in Myersville, Maryland. 11 a.m. registration with the 1 p.m. tee-off. These tickets are hot, so secure your spot to tee up to incredible views.
Attention in the barns, our 6 judging contestants who are working out for the Louisville team. If you could meet in the dairy office as soon as possible with at least one parent, meet with Jeff and Mr. Schnebley. Please make your way to the show office. There are 6 judging team tryout.
I think we have 4 showmen out here to kind of represent what we want to see in showmen. People that keep their attention on us as they go around the ring, pulling throat the entire time, getting those heifers set up to the best of their ability, and just gliding around the ring so smoothly. That goes down the line for every single one of these young ladies that are out here today in contention for overall showman. I do just want to take 1 second, taking nothing away from the kids that are back in the barn or that exhibited out here today. Let's give them all a huge round of applause because they did just as well as these 4 out here today. With that being said, Max will go out and select your overall champion, and then I will follow with a set of reasons for you. But congratulations to everybody that exhibited that are not in the ring right now and are. For us today, this young lady here with this big red cow is just a package deal. Somebody that glides around the ring so nicely, knows her animal, just a duo that you kind of can't get over for us today. But congratulations to the 3 young ladies that are standing below her here today. Taking nothing away from you guys, you all glided so nicely around the ring, always had your animals set up the best that you could. But for us today, this young lady just puts the package together for us and did a fabulous job. Congratulations.
Congratulations goes out to Kelsey Zepp, who is our overall showmanship winner at the 2022 Maryland State Fair 4-H Showmanship Contest. Congratulations, Kelsey. She receives an award from Maryland State Fair as well as our state breed organizations. So thank you for providing those awards to Kelsey. We will now have the Jeans Champion Challenge class after we get our photo op, where Kelsey will compete with our previous winners who are still 4-H age eligible, with an award for the winner to be provided by the University of Maryland College of Ag and Natural Resources. Claire Mindy, could you please meet Jeff Semler in the dairy office, please? Claire Mindy, and a parent. Our previous winners who are competing for the Dean's Champion Challenge. Entry number 223, Faith Lynn Moore. And entry number 225, Atlee Miller. And today's overall champion winner, Kelsey Zepp. These previous winners may compete for as many years as they are age eligible in 4-H, regardless of how many times they win the Dean's Champion Challenge. So the Champion Challenge Award again presented by University of Maryland College of Agriculture and Natural Resources. while we're completing the results of our Dean's Champion Challenge here, they're working the kids pretty hard and they're responding. So I will take an opportunity to introduce to you our 2022 state dairy cattle judging team that will represent Maryland at the contest in Louisville, based on their contest results yesterday and their workout today. The team will consist of Justin DeWeese, Emily Fritz, Addison Malott, and Caroline Schnebley. Congratulations to our judging team and best of luck in Louisville.
Let's give these three showmen out here a big round of applause for the Dean's Showmanship Challenge. It took us a little bit longer here to sort through these three. I think you've got three phenomenal showmen out here that I think at the end of the day could get on the halter of somebody else's animal and present them just as well as they did their own. They showed that as we switched halters out here. They all answered the questions the best that they could and did a phenomenal job. I'll let Max go out and select the overall winner, and then I'll follow with a set of reasons. But again, as he does that, let's give these young lady out here another huge round of applause, as they deserve it. Today we're going to stick with this young lady with this red cow. Taking nothing away from the two ladies that are out here, it was splitting hairs what we were going to do, especially when it came down to the young lady with the Holstein heifer and then the red cow here. Just two showmen that I think no matter the halter they go on, they do a phenomenal job. But for us today, this young lady to win for us just had her cow set up just a little bit nicer for us today, and really they just glide so nicely around the arena today to get her over this young lady out here with the Holstein heifer. Taking nothing away from her, she did a fabulous job. She got on the halter of this cow and just glided so nicely around the ring. But just that little bit of advantage of just a little bit more smooth around the ring with her own heifer. But congratulations to everybody that was out here today. It was a tremendous group of showmen and young folks out here that are going to have a bright future when they get on the halter and get out here in the ring on these animals. Congratulations to everybody.
Congratulations to Kelsey Zepp, this year's winner of the Dean's Champion Challenge, and she will be eligible to return for 2 more years. So perhaps the first of several. Kelsey will receive an award provided by the University of Maryland, College of Agricultural and Natural Resources. This is the final class of our showmanship competition today. Please join us again at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning for our confirmation classes for all breeds. Enjoy your day at the fair.
H swings into the 38th annual golf tournament in memory of Marlon K. Hoff on Monday, October 3rd, 2022 at the beautiful Musket Ridge Golf Course in Myersville, Maryland. 11 a.m. registration with the 1 p.m. tee-off. These tickets are hot, so secure your spot to tee up to incredible views.